Yeah. On the daily, it's what I do. Get in tune. Salutations. Fair game with TJ on room. I hear various opinions about Cooper Flagg. Will his game transition into the NBA as a superstar, star level player, or ultimately will he become the next Christian Laettner? I have this clip from Mind the Game podcast with LeBron James featuring Steve Nash. I will give my thoughts after the clip.
And my message was to them, everybody's road to success is different. So stay locked in and patient. That was my message to my boys last year.
Message.
Yeah. So
I mean, there's a lot of stories like that. It's funny, right? Like there's more stories like that than there is stories like yours.
Right. Correct.
People didn't recognize that. I had one scholarship offer. Stephen Curry did not get a scholarship to his dad's alma mater, Virginia Tech. His dad played in the league for a long time. I don't remember Kawhi Leonard being on a lot of radars, even when he got to the league. You go around, there's a lot of guys that develop. I mean, Giannis, coming from where he came, Jokic, second round pick.
Second round.
You go through the league, they're littered, with people that got there in a circuitous way, let's say. It's almost more common than the person that got there from high school All-American to college All-American.
It's way more common than the LeBron James and the Cooper Flaggs.
Right.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, well, that's a great message. I'm glad you could share that with us.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of Cooper, he's in a position you can relate to. He's the consensus number one and terrific player.
Terrific player.
What do you remember about being in that position? Like, what advice would you give him? Like, you know you're the number one pick. The whole world of basketball is looking at you.
Yeah.
It's got to come with a lot of expectations.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, one, obviously, you're super excited. It's like, it's what we all dreamed about as kids, and laying in your bed, with the basketball just shooting up, at the ceiling, working on your form.
Done that.
Just doing that. Or, if you were able to get a basketball hoop in your driveway, then you're doing the whole countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, wanting to hit a big buzzer shot, in the NBA at some point. And then you're wearing other people's jerseys growing up, you're wearing other guys' shoes, just like all that type of stuff, playing video games with all the people you inspire to be and want to be a part of.
Yeah.
And now the moment is here. So you're just like, you're in awe, man. You're like, wow, I can't believe that this dream is finally coming true, And at the same time, there's a little anxiety and pressure that comes with it too. Because, as the number one pick, the expectations are automatically put on you. Doesn't matter if they're right or wrong, and we're around the same age. I was 18 when I was drafted. I believe Cooper's 18, maybe turning 19 soon, but it's all the same. But it takes time, man. It takes time and the expectation to wanting to put a 18-year-old, 19 kid in a position where he's like, he needs to be great right away. I think it's unfair, but it's also something that I think we can, as kids like myself and Cooper can use as like motivation as well. And I personally think that he wants to be great. He had a hell of a year at Duke, a guy that can do so many different things on the floor, can play with the ball, can play without the ball. His jump shot is going to continue to get better, super athletic, quick second jump. And also, he has the benefit, unlike myself, he gets to join a team that's established with Hall of Fame guys, Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, right off the bat, Hall of Fame coach Jason Kidd. These guys are like, they can give him the whole blueprint while he continues to learn what his blueprint will be. And I think that's going to be an incredible thing for him to have that type of presence, that type of leadership, that type of just basketball IQ and knowledge around him every single day from those pieces. So I think he's going to be amazing.
Yeah. And
I'm going to start off with the positive. Let's get off into his stats at Duke. He averaged 19.2, points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game, which is a nice number at playing the forward position. Also, he showed that he can make teammates better, averaging 4.2 assists per game. Steals, constantly playing passing lanes, 1.4, along with 1.4 blocks. So that shows his intensity, him being a two-way player, not afraid to compete. That's what I want from any prospect, to play on both ends of the floor. And field goal percentage, 48%, and three-point percentage. College, of course, has the shorter three-pointer. He shot 38.5%. In free throws, he shot 84%. Can't be mad at that. Certain parts of his game will translate: playing hard, being coachable. He can average around the same points in the NBA, with Kyrie being out and going with the rehab. He should be able to fit in right after Anthony Davis right away, average 18 to 20 points without no problem, playing off of AD. And all of these other stats are intangibles. Staying with the positives, he's still a young kid. He has the tools to make it shake in terms of him dominating in transition. He's very athletic, which is important playing on the next level. Those particular things, he should not be a bust. And we heard LeBron naming the Hall of Famers as far as Kyrie, Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, Jason Kidd. He should soak everything up like a sponge. Now, the negatives that I saw, I'm going to go back to that Final Four game when they played against Houston. Once they ramped up their defense and decided that Duke is not going to bring the ball up, they're not going to really get shots at the rim, that's when Cooper has to put his foot down and say, no mas. He got to go straight. He got to go straight at it. That's what superstars on the next level does. They stop the bleeding. They're going to get a bucket. They will not allow another team to put them on a drought in such a way that they end up losing the game they had control of the final 2 minutes until Houston made that run. Also, I have to say he have to work on a little bit of his isolation moves in half court. That's going to determine him being a go-to guy, a bucket getter, or he's going to be maybe a hustle player that's going to be D and 3, stash in the corner or on the wings to shoot the open shot while the other stars on the team sets up the baskets. Still, he has a couple years away before he has to decide, okay, I have to turn up and answer to said critics' expectations. Right now, coming in the ideal situation, he should be the second option, third option, feast in that role until he learns, so he won't be a bust. But when it's time to answer that call, he got to hoop. There's players from Duke historically that didn't do what they were supposed to do. They did not live up to their proclamations as being that guy. Christian Laettner, I feel like that's a lazy take due to the fact they both have different types of games. Christian Laettner during his time was a more cerebral player, had that mid-range shot, had nice touch around the basket, and he was the man in college. But if we look at it in hindsight, he wasn't going to be a superstar level due to the lack of athleticism and location he ended up being drafted in Minnesota and being a transformative player like that. No, he was always destined to kind of be a role player. Making my prediction now, will Cooper Flagg be a bust? I'm going to say this. His ceiling is Jimmy Butler. His floor, if I have to come up with a player real quick, somebody that's going to be a D&3 type player that's stashed in the corner or a defensive storehouse, but that's not bringing it really on that level. I don't want to say Rui Hachimura. That won't be fair, but his floor, maybe a Brandon Ingram. That's fair. Another person that went to Duke. So Jimmy Butler, Brandon Ingram. Now, if he surpassed the Jimmy Butler kind of player, then more kudos to him. But if he drops below Brandon Ingram, he will be a bust. But in my humble opinion, Cooper Flagg is on the right track, and he's going to get money starting his rookie year. He will not be a bust. I promise you that.